Okay, do you want to get rich with penny stocks? Do you want to get rich with cheap stocks? Yeah, trading, whether trading at a nickel, trading at 50 cents, $2. We're talking about low price stocks under $5 that can go up 10x to 100x. What does that mean? 1,000% to 10,000%. So imagine turning $1,000 into $10,000 or $50,000. That's right. Or what if you had $10,000? Now that becomes $100,000 or $500,000. Now look, I have helped investors do exactly that over the course of my career for over 25 years, and I've created over $1 trillion in wealth for shareholders, helping thousands of companies increase their stock price. Now, here's the key thing you want to know. Here's the key thing you want to understand is this. This is a very important nuance, very important distinction. This, my friends, is what separates the people who make millions and millions of dollars in penny stocks and low price stocks and those who don't. It's very simple. If you have a great story, right, and we all know there's companies with great stories, but why do these stocks go nowhere? Why are they going nowhere? The reason they're going nowhere is nobody knows they exist. That's right. Nobody knows they exist. And if you have a tree that falls in the forest and nobody knows it exists, does it make a sound? Well, I'm talking about stock promotion. You want to call it investor relations, you want to call it marketing, whatever it is that you want to call it. That is an absolute necessity. That is an absolute necessity for micro-cap stocks. Because if they don't have that, if they don't have an advocate, that's pretty much what I do. And basically, if they don't have an advocate, if they don't have massive, not just a person, but massive media machine behind it, getting it that exposure, the stock will go nowhere. And you know what happens with stocks that go nowhere? They miss out. They miss out on opportunities. They can't raise capital at cost effectively. They can't, if they don't have a good stock price, they can't attract talent. That's right. They can't get winners. They can't attract talent to their company because nobody wants to join a company if their stock options are going to go nowhere, right? I mean, think about this. These companies are competing. If you're a tech company, you're competing with Facebook, with Google, with Amazon. You're competing with all these guys, and plus, millions of startups where those stocks are, where they have options. People think those things are going to the moon, right? So you need to have something to attract that talent. And when you have a rising stock price, which is what we have helped thousands of companies do, you get that talent. And that your stock price, totally, it's the tail that wags the dog. This is what stupid CEOs don't understand. Guys who are stupid don't understand this. The stock is the tail that wags the dog. Do you want to be associated with a loser? You don't, right? Look, the stock price is the tail that wags the dog. When you have market support, when you have liquidity, when you have millions of investors looking at your stock, when you develop a cult following for that stock, that changes the nature of the business. Look, when a stock goes from a nickel to $1, okay, that means the company can raise millions of dollars overnight, far less dilution. If the stock stays at a nickel, if it stays at 10 cents undiscovered, you're going to get washed out. You're going to get washed out with because of the dilution. Now, imagine stock goes from a nickel to $1 or $2 or whatever it is, right? Imagine, the market cap goes from 10 million to 100 million. Now the company can totally transform the nature of the business by making a couple of strategic acquisitions, right? Look, we know. Let's not kid ourselves. Look, a lot of these companies, I call them fake it till you make it type stocks, meaning they got a story, they got a PowerPoint presentation. That's the whole company. It's a PowerPoint presentation and a dog. That's the CEO. They're sitting in a garage, right? They got nothing. Now imagine this. All of a sudden, the company raises $100 million. All of a sudden, the market cap increases to $100 million, and that valuation, they can use that valuation to make acquisitions. They can make acquisitions now, right? So imagine this. You had a company, it was two guys and a dog, and now they're able to make some massive acquisitions, and the value explodes, right? Because if your market cap now is $100 million, you can make a $50 million acquisition. You can make an acquisition of a company that's generating, I don't know, 25 million in revenues, right? So that is how the great fortunes are built. Now, you need stock promotion in order to do that. Again, stock promotion is the tail that wags the dog, because when you have a stock price that's exploding, or increasing at a healthy pace, it gives you optionality. Look, when you have a stock price that's increasing, when you have a stock price that has the attention of millions of investors, that, my friends, gives you optionality, okay? It lets you make acquisitions. It lets you do, mergers and acquisitions, right? Because now you can use that stock to buy competitors. You can buy the stock to buy great companies that generate cash flow and earnings, okay? You can also, again, that stock price that's increasing, it's very attractive for for getting top talent. If you're a tech company, you're not going to get top talent, okay, unless you have a stock that's going up, unless you have something that's attractive, because you're competing with the Googles, the Facebooks, the thousands of startups out there that are paying big money, big benefits, and stock to employees. So the other thing is, of course, raising capital. You're not going to be able to raise capital effectively unless you have trading volume, unless you have liquidity. Okay, if your stock is trading, $100 grand, $1 million worth of shares a day, right? Let's say your stock is trading, $500,000, $1 million worth of stock a day, right? What that means, my friends, is you can raise overnight. You can raise like $10 million overnight. No questions asked. Nobody cares what you do. It's just they want that liquidity. That is why I call the stock price action the tail that wags the dog. It's absolutely necessary. And that is, again, that's what Wall Street Reporter has done for thousands of companies over the last 25 years. Over $1 trillion in value created. Again, that's why they call me the $1 trillion man. So if you want to make money with penny stocks, with cheap stocks, make sure that stock has promotion behind it, because that's the tailwind. That is the tailwind that it ultimately is going to create value and help you make money. If you don't have it, you're going to go nowhere. So make sure you have it, right? See you in the next one.